It's no accident that sounds like you're leveling up in a video game. 48% of 18 to 29-year-olds have an online dating profile.
Make them work for it.
45% of people say they're more frustrated with this form of dating than hopeful.
There are so many people you can connect with.
Should I swipe right?
Swipe wrong. Swipe wrong. Setting the record straight on dating apps. Everyday people telling everyday stories of the swipe right world with your host, Koss.
Well, I know he had a good time.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. Welcome to the show. As you know, we're here anytime you need us to be here. This is the Swipe Wrong podcast. I am that guy. I am Koss. I'm your host. I'm the guy who's going to take you through all of the stories. Welcome to the number one podcast amongst people who are more afraid of Santa's helpers than they are witches and warlocks. And some people just love Halloween more than they do Christmas. I can't fault you for it. The show this week, let's get into the housekeeping. The show is produced by Jay Pelham, the author of The Musician's Playbook, and a couple other books that I need to remember the titles of. But check him out because the dude's amazing. He does some of the best work on the show that anybody could ever ask for, and just one of the best friends on the planet. Anyway, give us a call. Tell us your story. I want to hear it. We want to hear it. We want to know what's going on. The thing is, any of the episodes that you guys connect with, you are, someone's going to connect with yours too. So shoot me a text, 317-426-6616. Email the show, swipewrongpod@gmail.com. It's a casual, easy, fun conversation. I think just about anybody we talk to has kind of told us the same thing. Podcast platforms, you pick it. We're on it. We're on YouTube. Check out the Swipe Wrong Pod channel on YouTube. So if you want to see faces and how we interact with everybody, and then there used to be a bunch of reels and shorts and stuff that we'd put on, kind of changing the way that do things on there a little bit. There's still plenty, but we're just I'm trying to put out like shorter episodes of the full episodes that are out to go along with the reels and stuff, and in that way you guys can kind of get through those also. 2 books that are out there. Swipe Wrong Pod has 2 books that are on Amazon, so they're set up on Kindle, they're set up on print, either paperback or hardcover. One book is really about the stories and something that I like to call the dating cycle. The other one is if you're trying to put together a dating profile and how to have good, I don't want to say successful dates, because not everything is a successful date, but Michael Jordan won 6 rings, and not every season was a championship, but everything got him to the championship, right? So it'll help you have better dates. How's that? And hopefully successful dates. So check those out. Amazon, like I said, they can be an e-read, or you can get the print copy. So this week, here's what we're doing. Just broke up the last week's episode into 2 parts, just because it was a great conversation, and we just kept talking and kept sharing and kept going back and forth, and she was awesome to talk to. So that being said, we're going to get into part 2 of it. So sit back, relax, put your feet up, grab your popcorn, get it buttered, grab some caramel, throw some sea salt on there, whatever it is that you need to do to make the popcorn better to enjoy the show. That's the goal. And if you're listening on your commute to work, be careful. Please don't hit that person next to you, and enjoy part 2 of the handoff.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions or any entities they represent. This podcast is about dating experiences. It is not to say one dating app is better or worse than another.
Was it pretty quick before you kind of moved into almost exclusivity?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was within about a month-ish. Yeah. And circling back, his... I got more good stuff.
Oh, good. All right. Look, I'm not trying to pull you through it. I'm just trying to connect dots. So keep telling it.
Okay. So his son, I had, a few weeks later, I met his son.
Okay.
And another friend of mine, said to me one day, he goes, "Hey, I gotta bring some work stuff to a coworker. Do you want to come for a ride?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I didn't know anything. So we're just yapping away. We get there, knock on the door. And who do you think answers the door?
Don't tell me Billy.
Not Billy.
Oh, that'd have been funny. All right.
Adam's ex answers the door. And we look at each other and it's like, what? Because we had met each other a previous time for swapping off the kid.
All right.
So my friend's coworker was her husband.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Wow.
But my friend didn't realize that I knew her and that she knew me.
Wow. Small world. Holy cow.
So Adam's ex and I are looking at each other. It's like, you're the, could not get the words
wow.
out.
That's crazy.
It was funny because my friend's going like, "Wait, you two know each other?" And it's like, "Well, yeah, you see,
yeah."
Like, now here's where the best part is. Adam's son was visiting his mom that day, and he goes,
Jesus.
"That's my dad's girlfriend." And I'm like, "There you go."
That's
about
great.
6 weeks into Adam and I seeing each other.
Right.
So later, I don't know if it was that night or the next day or whatever, I was over the house and I was like, "So I got a funny story for you."
Oh, no.
And I tell him what happened. I said, "Yeah," I said, "My friend so-and-so had to bring some work stuff to a coworker and da-da-da. And you'll never guess who was there." And he's like, "Who?" I said, "Your son." And he's like, "Huh?" And then we connected the dots.
Right.
And I told him about this, very awkward interaction where we're both stumbling over our words, trying to explain who the other person is because it was so new in the relationship.
Sure.
I said, "Yeah." I said, "Your son just pointed it out and said, 'Oh, that's my dad's girlfriend.'" And that's when Adam said, "I think it's time for you to be my girlfriend."
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I think so too.
Yeah, I would say once your son starts calling you it, I would say that's probably the time that it's definitely can be official. If he wasn't, yeah. Once you pass that test, you're in great shape. That had to be bizarre though. When she, opens the door, you're like, "Oh, I know her. Oh, okay. All right. Where do we go?"
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And like I said, we'd only met one time in the parking lot of, again, we were just
another handoff. Yeah.
And it was like, hi. And then because you have that recognition part of like, wait, it's like processing, please wait.
Yeah.
And it's
like,
"Oh, you're you. You're you."
Yeah.
Yes, I am the you. Well, the me then.
And everything was cordial, I imagine. Everybody was cool. Everybody was happy.
Was very, very cordial. They actually have a very good working relationship.
That's good.
There was never any hostility, any anger, any of that.
That's good.
It was just, this was who she was, and I was who I was, and that was that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Weird adults about it. That's crazy. I know, stop it. Stop it with your nonsense. Stop. That's crazy.
I know, such bullshit being adults.
I know. Like people actually looking out for each other and like taking care of each other and wishing each other well. What? Stop it.
No, and like when Adam and I went on our first vacation, she offered to go shopping with me to help me find some clothes.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Like, okay, I think.
Yeah. Just an extended part of the family. You guys get along great, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, she babysat our son for us several times.
That's awesome.
And it was kind of weird being able to say, yeah, my husband's ex is babysitting our son, and people are like, "Huh? It works. It works."
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, like it seems like it should work more often, but so many mixed feelings get into it because, like, really, like co-parenting is a huge part. They're going to be a part of it. You might as well figure out how to be amicable, and if everybody can just like, hey, it's just extended family, pretty much, then great. But I know hurt. I know like there's always hurt. I know there's deceit, there's jealousy, there's cheating, there's things like that. So But boy, it sure makes it work a lot better when you're in the situation you're in.
They had been apart for several years, so they had already kind of worked out the routine and everything.
Sure.
So, I mean, if I had come into his life earlier, it might not have been as successful.
Right.
But they had a good number of years apart to kind of,
That's cool.
get everything going.
That's cool. Maybe it took a lot of work. That's really cool.
Absolutely.
And so Adam and you now? Yeah, there you go. So how long were you guys dating before you decided like, hey, this is what we should do?
Well, it's funny. We knew within, I'd say, about the first year that we were each other's stopping point.
Okay.
But we had both been married prior, and we were very hesitant.
Sure.
To make that next step. And we were dating we were together just over 4 years before we got married.
Okay. So how long did you live with the friend?
Oh, that's right. The guy friend.
Yeah.
We only ended up living together for about 6 months, 6 or 8 months. Even though we had done a 1-year lease, he had a girlfriend and she bought my portion of the lease.
Okay.
So I was able to exit gracefully.
Okay.
We were still friends for a very long time. We're still friends, actually.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
But yeah, I just kept spending more and more time with Adam, and I was like, this is... And my friend's like, I knew you were going to move in with him. And I was like, I didn't intend to.
Right.
It's not part of the plan.
So you moved in with your boyfriend and his girlfriend moved in with him. Is that kind of how it shook out? So it worked out perfect, right?
I'm sorry?
That worked out perfect, it sounds like.
It worked out perfectly. She took over the lease that I had with him, which let me go free and clear to move in with Adam. So I didn't, I paid 1 extra month as like a gesture of good faith.
Sure.
And then she took over after that.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so it all worked out splendidly.
Yeah, no kidding. So, all right, I'm going to have to ask. So your date with him was good, but the dates before that led up to it that were trash, how bad were they? Because it all gets to the same point. Like, if you didn't go through the trash dates, you wouldn't ended up stalking them on Facebook and ended up married and all that
I did not stalk. I did
Whoa,
research.
sure. Tomato, whatever. I get it. Sure. I got it. Yep. Look, it doesn't matter. You got to happiness. That's all that matters. So stalker, researcher, whatever brand you want to put on it. Sure was worked out. Informative. Yep. Just doing your due diligence, young lady. That's all it was.
Exactly. There's a lot of creepers out there.
Oh, there are. They might look at your Facebook profile, but I mean, it was supposed to be done. Like, this is how it was supposed to go. You were supposed to hey, match with Billy. So that way you would look at your friend's profile and go, oh, damn, look at this other dude that's not Billy. And then end up.
Yep. And everything just aligned. And with how easy it was being, having a relationship with Adam and everything else. And it was just like, wow, this doesn't work. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. Like really, if you look at, if you would have never matched with this person, you may not have researched your friend's profile and then found Adam and then never talked about ice cream and things like that. So
exactly.
It's just amazing how it all kind of pops off.
Exactly.
But also ties into that are how bad were those 2 dates?
Oh my gosh. So the first date was interesting. The guy worked in construction.
Okay.
And he had his license taken away, which he didn't tell me right away.
Right.
Because I said, hey, we lived a little further apart. We're about a little over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I was like, so where do you want to get together? And he's like, how about here? Because he had to take the train.
Oh, okay.
So we had to meet near Train Town.
Okay. And
I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. And then so we meet and I'm like, okay. And we had never talked on the phone.
Okay.
And I hate to say it, but he opened his mouth and he sounded like a squeak toy had inhaled helium.
Oh.
I was like,
God.
okay,
Dang.
okay,
Oh.
okay. And he's like, don't be, appearances aren't everything. And he just kept digging this hole. And then so we met up and had Chinese food.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. And he's just like shoveling food into his face. And I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe he's hungry.
Right. Sure. Last meal.
So we're talking and just nothing seemed to take a good catch and go into a meaningful conversation.
Sure.
And then it's like, hey, let's go get a drink. And I'm like, okay. And then as we went to, it was a pool hall, very shady pool hall.
Oh, wow.
And we're sitting there and I get like, I forget I think it was like a rum and Coke, just something simple.
Sure.
And I'm like watching it go from the bar to me to make sure, nothing.
Oh, sure. Smart girl. Very smart girl. Good call. All right. No roofie. Okay. Gotcha. Good call.
Yeah. And like, I'm literally holding the glass like this. With the straw coming out here.
Look, I know I'm laughing. It's just because of what you're showing me, but good move. Like really good move. Like I don't mean to make light of that. Good move. It's just funny the way you're demonstrating it. That's all.
Yeah, and like I made sure that when I used the bathroom, my drink was empty.
Sure.
And I crumpled up my napkin and put it in the glass.
Oh, good move. Really? Seriously, good move.
Yeah. But then during that time we were in the shady pool hall, he then tells me he has a daughter.
Geez, surprise kid again.
Oh, okay. Because, we were showing each other, we just kept trying to make some conversation happen.
Okay.
And he goes, oh, here, want to see a picture of my daughter? And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're what?
Wow.
Like, yeah, I have a daughter. Oh,
wow.
Okay. So it's like, all these little ding, 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 ding,
Sure.
Little red flags, but they're parts of a much bigger red flag.
Right.
Then comes the coup de grace.
I love the coup de grace. That's such a good term.
Thanks. We just somehow start talking about, just random adventures. And he goes on to tell me the story about the time he had sex with a girl on top of a fire engine with a fire axe in one hand and wearing nothing but a helmet.
That's a hell of a first date story.
And the friends are cheering him on. And I was like, and we're done.
Oh my God. That's definitely a story you tell your boys, maybe, not your first date. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember what excuse I used to get out of there, but I did.
Yeah.
I really don't remember.
Can't imagine why. Oh, by the way, I'm allergic to fire trucks. Take care of yourself. Anything would work right there.
I'm allergic to penises. Get out of my way.
Yeah. Ones like those for sure. Oh
my
who tells
gosh.
that?
People
are funny.
And he's like, oh, I had a great time. You're easy to talk to. You're this and that. And I'm like, fuck. How do I get out of this? Like, thanks. And I'm trying so hard not to respond to any of his messages.
Right.
And he's like blowing up my phone.
Oh, wow.
He's like, yeah, I enjoyed this and that and this and that. I'm like, can't talk. I'm at work.
Oh,
I'll text you later.
Oh, wow.
Where are you? So I was like, I gotta get rid of this guy. How do I do it? Because ghosting him wasn't working.
Evidently, yeah, right.
So I said, okay. A friend of mine said, here's what you do. Tell him because you just got out of a relationship, you're not ready, you thought you were, I was like, yeah.
That's fair.
So I texted him and I said, look, thanks for the date. You know, to be perfectly honest, I had just come out of a really bad relationship. I thought I was ready, but I'm not. I'm really not going to be seeing anybody anymore. So thank you again. And basically, please don't contact me anymore.
Right. Right.
And thankfully, he didn't.
Wow. Good. That's actually
Thankfully,
surprised
he
me more than
didn't.
anything.
I know. I mean, I'd have blocked his number and
Yeah, for sure. Like you let him
had
know.
to.
I mean, he could have come back and said, "Hey, I just found this new fire truck. You want to play fire engine or something?" You know, whatever the 5-year-olds are doing nowadays.
But he wasn't even a firefighter.
Right.
It's like, how the hell did you get access to a fire engine and a fire axe to then have sex with someone on the top of it while others are cheering you on when you don't even have any involvement in the firefighting business?
Yeah, it'd have been like that. It's probably a pretty quick cheer, right, bro? I mean, that's what 35-second cheer. I don't know.
I have.
No, Jesus.
I'm just like,
Who shares that though? Like for real? Like who shares? Like,
we did.
yeah, evidently, there's the one. There's no like. I'll say like red flag. That seems more like the Jolly Roger. You know, that's more of a pirate flag. You know, just coming to pillage the village and things like that. So, no way. So again, without that, you would have, you know, because coming out of the relationship that you came out of, you had like, what's common is, do I still have it? What's connection going to look like? How is a date even going to feel? Does anybody want me? Do I want anybody?
That particular statement was very, very true.
Yeah.
My ex had been very, very manipulative and demeaning. So that concept of, am I worthy? Does anybody want me? Am I fill in the blank?
Yeah.
Was very, very true. So when I started getting matches on Tinder, I was like, okay, maybe. You know, but it was just definitely not.
No, but it's like the progression though. It's like, all right, so there is a lot of crazy out there, but you know what? Maybe I do still have it. But do I have it with conversation? Do I have it in the bedroom? Do I have it in serious talks? Can I still fight with somebody and make up with somebody without just holding on to anger and stuff too? So there's just so many different levels to figure out, but you figured them out. You figured them out, which is awesome.
Oh, I tried. I mean, we still have issues here and there, but
oh, who doesn't? But you keep working through them, right? I mean, like
at least I don't have subscriptions anymore. Just random flyers in the mail of issues.
Well played. I like that. You don't need to renew that subscription. It's just a flyer. I got it.
Yeah, it's just like the random, get your ADT home security system updated.
It's so good.
I don't have ADT.
That's so good and so true. Oh, I like that. So married for how long now?
It'll be 4 years in April.
Okay. I needed a good story. I needed a good, happy story. And this is a good, happy story with...
Told you, I swiped wrong, but it turned out right.
Right. Exactly. Because if you didn't swipe, you wouldn't have researched. I almost said the stalked word, but researched and found...
Well, did you want to hear about the other one? The second,
I always do. Yes.
First date. That was.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know you still wanted to tell the second first date.
Oh,
yeah. I want to hear them all.
Fine. So after that kerfuffle, I was like, I need to do a little more background information before I meet up with somebody again.
What did you use?
Just questions, just Q&A.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if like I recommend going to my case for a lot of people, so that way you can see if people. Yeah. So you might have seen. I shouldn't say would have seen that the other guy didn't have a driver's license, even though he didn't tell you that, or if they're still married, or if there's a divorce decree in there, and or if they're wanted for murder. Just things like that.
Just a random unnecessary items.
Yeah. Exactly.
Dead body count.
So, yeah. That shows up there too. Yeah.
So I met this other guy on Tinder, and after the first bad first date,
okay,
I asked a few more questions like, all right, do you have any kids? How many? What are their, what's your relation? What's
Smart.
your working relationship with their mothers? Like, what's your living arrangement? Because you learn, and then
Yeah.
you take those into the next situation. So I met this other guy, and we were living about 50 minutes away from each other, but in a very awkward direction.
Okay.
And he seemed much more subdued, more gentle. And I was like, okay, he's probably not going to tell me about his sexcapades on the first date.
Right.
So we meet up at a Panera, I think it was,
Okay.
to just have like coffee. Well, he was in fact the opposite of the first guy. But I wanted to shove a stick of dynamite up his ass to get him to converse.
Oh, you had to carry all the conversation.
He had no personality. Like a wet dish rag had more character than he did.
Oh no, that's tough. That's
And
tough.
I'm like, you're boring as hell.
Oh, that's tough.
And he didn't know how to like simplify a conversation or wrap something up or put it into a few sentences. It was just this simple story that could have been told in 3 minutes took him about 20.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
my God, you're putting me to sleep.
Oh boy.
And I'm not even worried about you roofing my drink. You're putting me to sleep because you're so bad at conversation.
Oh,
And this is when I
no.
learned that having a good conversation with somebody was very, very important.
Sure. Dialogue.
So yeah, he was just very boring. And I tried to be like, hey, I gotta go. And he's like, oh, wait, let me tell you this story too. And I'm like,
Oh no.
I was too nice. And I said, all right, go ahead. And then like
No.
another thing. And I'm like, oh my God, just shut up.
Oh,
You should duct tape your mouth.
he's lonely. Oh, poor guy.
Oh, wait, he did tell me an inappropriate story. That's right, he did.
Yeah, what was that?
That he likes sleeping nude. And he was a bit of an exhibitionist.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
when he was still with his ex, she went to wake him up one morning and pulled the covers back, and he was naked. And she's like, what the hell is that? And he's like, it's my butt. And I'm like, oh God, this is horrible.
Oh,
This
he's
is really
fishing.
like, I go from sexcapades to nudism, exhibition. Like, oh God,
Right.
like,
Right.
can I just get a normal conversation? Let's talk about beer and music and
Right.
I don't know. Do you prefer hot dogs or hamburgers?
Stop with your logic. Stop it
I
now.
know. I
Stop
am
it.
just
Stop
so damn logical.
Stop it. Stop it with your crazy logic. That's just crazy. What are you
And that
talking about?
was, when I went out with Adam and we were able to have those meaningful conversations, there was reciprocity, and
Yeah.
we talked about traveling and stuff like that. It's like, hey, do you want to travel? Yeah, I do. Where do you want to go? Oh, I want to go here and here. Well, why do you want to go there? Oh, because I like this, this, and this. How about you? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I want to go here and I want to go that place as well. Well, why do you want to go there? So that very easy, that very fluid conversation
Isn't that crazy?
happened on the first date with Adam, and it just, even still, we have lovely conversations.
Yeah. Well, that's huge though. Like if you can't communicate with one another, like it's not going to go anywhere anyway. You got to talk and you got to fight and you got to make up, because if you can't communicate, you're not going to be able to get to the makeup part, because no one's going to listen to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I told him when we first met, I said I have 3 rules to be in a relationship with me. And not just a romantic relationship, but any relationship. Honesty, respect, and commitment. And commitment being, do what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to do something, actually do it.
That's cool.
And the analogy I use is just like a 3-legged bar stool. Those 3 things.
Mhm.
And if you take one of them away, the bar stool will tip over.
Sure.
So much like the relationship, if there's no honesty, we can't work. If there's no respect, we can't work.
Right.
And if there's no
Right.
commitment, we can't work. Because once one of them is out, it just falls over.
So where did you get that? Because that's coming from your past relationship, right? Like you didn't have the mutual, like probably didn't feel like you had the mutual respect.
Oh, there
Um,
was no mutual respect with my
yeah.
past relationship.
So there had to be a point, I imagine, between then and going to the new one. You're like, all right, yeah, this is things that are important to me. I mean, as you went through your self-discovery phase, I guess, right?
Yeah. And I'd always valued honesty.
Sure.
Respect, I didn't realize was very hand in hand, even though it's a very different topic. It's important, and the commitment part.
Sure.
You can read all about that in chapter 2.
Oh, gotcha. Fair enough. Okay. In the book.
Yeah, a lot
Gotcha.
of those 3 rules come from chapter 2,
Okay. Fair enough. Fair
which
enough.
talks about my ex and how
Okay.
horrific that was. Yeah, honesty was always like one of my number one things. Like, just be honest.
Right. Right.
Don't lie. Just be
Right.
honest. And each relationship I had, through childhood and adulthood and everything else, kind of helped me solidify those 3 things.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That makes sense. Good on you, girl. And you're happy.
I am
And you're writing like crazy.
not as crazy as I'd like to.
It's all right, though. But you found the passion for it, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, I always wanted to write.
Yeah.
I just never had a topic.
Yeah, sure.
Matter of fact, when I was in high school, I had written a poem about a book called Night, and it was about the Holocaust. I know,
Oh, wow,
it's a sad
okay.
subject.
All right, sure.
And my teacher said, "Hey, why don't you send it to the author of the book?"
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so I did. And not only did he write back, but he also became a Nobel Peace Prize winner,
Oh, wow.
Mr. Elie Wiesel.
Oh, wow.
So I actually had interactive communication regarding my poetry about his book
Wow.
with a Nobel Peace Prize winner.
That's awesome. What did he say when he wrote you back?
He said that he was very moved by it.
Oh, that's cool. That had to feel, I mean, even to this day, like you're saying, that had to feel damn good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
actually, I wish I had it on me right now, but I don't. I just got a letter back from the Pope.
Get out of here, really?
It's on my Instagram.
That's awesome. Well, all right. You might as well share your handle. I usually ask people to do that at the end anyway, and I know we're not quite there yet, but might as well share your handles.
So it's Grace Peterson and then RBM
Okay. All right.
for Instagram. And just look for the red daisy. And then
like
Facebook is Grace Peterson, RBM.
Okay. All right. Just making
RBM
sure
stands
there.
for Rainbow Baby Mom.
Oh,
which
nice.
is all part of the book and
Okay.
everything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right.
I took a chance and I sent my book to the Pope.
No kidding. And he replied
wrote
about it,
back
huh?
to me.
That's awesome, girl.
Yeah.
Jesus. Then I don't know that you can have a higher compliment, like literally and figuratively. Right?
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. That's badass.
I mean, next on my list is Oprah, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean,
I want her to have my book saying, yes, you need to read this book.
Yeah, no kidding.
Then
Like,
I'll have the trifecta.
yeah, God, yeah. A Nobel Peace Prize or the Pope and Oprah. That's definitely the trifecta for sure. It doesn't get much bigger than that. That's for sure.
No, it really doesn't.
No.
It really doesn't.
You're pretty amazing. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty
Thank you.
awesome. Before I let you go, anything else you want to share? Because I don't like I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you.
You said you want a good laugh?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will share a funny, awkward situation from my book. Okay.
Okay.
So my son was in the ER and they had just attended to him, and I said I needed to change his diaper. Now, mind you, he was only 6 weeks old, so he's, tiny.
Right.
And the ER doctor comes over. Does penis look all right to you? I don't have one. I don't know. I mean, it looks like a penis to me. Should it look any different?
Where was he going with that?
Because of the nature of what was going on, he was curious if they had catheterized him in a previous situation.
Oh my gosh.
But just the rant, and he was such a he was a tall guy, big personality, big guy. And I mean, I'm only 5 feet tall.
Right.
So this big guy, we're looking over my son as I'm changing his diaper, and he's like, "His penis look all right to you?" Just so casually, like, what size diaper is that? Oh, I notice he has a giraffe on his onesie.
Oh my God.
Looks like a penis to me. I don't have one. I mean,
That's a pretty solid bedside manner. I mean, just like, what are you doing?
oh, he was fantastic.
That
He
sounds
was
pretty
absolutely
awesome.
Fantastic.
He sounds like a good one to have on your side too. Make you laugh a little bit as you go through it while you're trying to figure out what's going on with
yes,
with everything that happened with him. That's
him
perfect.
a few other times in there,
Yeah.
but the penis story is actually one of my favorites.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Because it was just, like I said, so random and so off the cuff, and it's like,
and so calm, like you're saying, just
so matter of fact. I'm like, I guess.
You're the expert, Doc. I'm just kind of here giving birth.
And you have one. He has one.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Yeah, you see him every day when you give birth, don't you? I mean, you definitely know. I wasn't on top of the fire engine. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe that's why my son hates emergency vehicle sounds.
Yep. There you go. Like it all ties together. Yeah. He's like, all right, nope, not doing it. I know what happens. Get the axe away from me.
I was not on top of that fire engine with him.
Wasn't me. There was no axes, no nothing. Oh, Grace, I'm gonna say it's been awesome talking to you. I'm so glad we connected. You're pretty damn amazing. The Pope, and we'll get Oprah involved in there and throw in the Nobel Peace Prize winner. Let's get you that trifecta. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being along for the ride on the Swipe Wrong podcast. The show is produced by Jay Pelham. You want to reach out to us? We want to hear your story. 317-426-6616. Make sure to text. Leave a voicemail. We'll get back to you. Shoot us an email at swipewrongpod@gmail.com. We are on Facebook, Insta, Twitter, YouTube. We are definitely out there. I am the host of the show. My name is Koss. And please make sure to take a listen to us next week because the saga, it continues.